Welcome into the halftime show here on the PAC Sports Network as we're back at the break between Grove City and Chatham University. And we're now joined by current Chatham University men's basketball player, Marcos Cintron. Marcos, wonderful to have you join us today on halftime. How's the season been so far for you and your team?
Thanks for having me. And so far as a team, it's been going well. I mean, obviously, as a team, we strive to win every game, which is easier said than done. But as of right now, we're just going along with the season and doing our best right now.
Well, I know that you guys had quite the out of conference schedule earlier in the season. How much has that helped you out at this point of the year during conference play?
It's helped us out a lot. Coach did a good job getting good teams to play non-conference to prepare us coming into the league because the league's always going to be tough. So you don't want to just be wasting your time playing bad teams and then kind of being sloppy when league play comes around.
Yeah, well, I think that's definitely the great approach to have, and it's clearly worked for you guys, especially at this point of the year. But I want to get in your career a little bit, Marcos, and just kind of start with at the very beginning. What led you to come to Chatham?
Just being it's close enough to home where I'm from Grove City and it's about an hour. Grove City is about an hour north of here, so it's close enough to home where I can go home whenever I want, but I'm far enough where it feels like I'm not home down here in Pittsburgh. So it's just a nice little in between area. And obviously, Coach Richards did a good job convincing me to come here. And it ended up being a great fit. So
Oh, that's great. Well, that's very, very awesome. Well, I'm glad that you definitely found yourself a nice home here at Chatham University, obviously. But want to get into your game specifically because you made such a nice transition over to college right from your first year, being named PAC Newcomer of the Year. What in your game do you feel allowed you to make that just really smooth transition?
just being confident, trying not to think too much whenever you transition to the game. Because I remember coming into college, the game was just a lot faster for me. So I had to almost like take a deep breath and just be confident in myself and know that I could do it. And it's worked out well.
Now, what was it like being named PAC Newcomer of the Year? I mean, how did you find out? How was the news broke to you?
Well, that was during COVID time. So we got kind of cut short our school year. So I was at home. I was in Grove City. I was home and just online. Just it came on my phone. I saw it and I was just, hey, that's pretty cool. Showed my mom and everyone was pretty happy. It was a good moment for sure.
Yeah, well, that's great, and you definitely had a great season that year, and you've continued that throughout your career. And along the way, you've also played with some really good players, some players that at times have been some of the leading scorers in the conference. And now you find yourself in that same position 4 years later. But I have to ask, with playing with the likes of Malik Potter, Will Sander, and the list goes on, how much did playing with those guys and kind of, again, playing alongside them help you get to the point where you're at today, being the main scorer and really taking a brunt of the offense?
Yeah, it helped me out a lot. Those older guys helping me out, especially being on the court with them because you had to use a defender on them. So a lot of times they were taking the best defender. So I kind of got some free points that way. And no, they taught me a lot, especially Will and Malik. Those guys just like how to be a leader, how to score the ball, and a lot of good things for sure.
Well, you definitely know how to score the ball. You reached your 1,000th career point this year, which I'm sure was a really cool milestone for you. What was it like just hitting that bucket? But also, did you know that you were closing in on the number?
Yeah, I had a good idea. I was closing in on it. I didn't know exactly how close I was until maybe 2 games prior. I saw it on Twitter, so I knew I was closing in on it, and it was a special moment for sure. Not everyone can say they've done that before, so I really enjoyed that moment. I had a lot of family in the stands that night too, because I obviously told them that hey, this could be the night. It could be happening tonight, and it luckily it did.
Yeah, well, that's great, and definitely a great milestone for you to have. But I have to ask, with just as of recently, with your team and just how you guys have been playing, what do you feel are some things that you have been really excelling at as a whole, but really also some things that you guys want to clean up as you move forward into conference play?
As a group, I think our offense from day one to now is light years ahead of where we were. Just moving the ball, getting good shots, trying to get a good shot every possession. I think that's probably what we've improved on the most. And then cleaning up our defensive end. We gotta get more stops. Our defense hasn't been great, but I think it can get better these last 3 weeks, last 6 games, and into the playoffs. I think we have a good chance to clean all that up and be ready to go.
Well, I know that we're obviously focusing on this season, but looking down the horizon a little bit, obviously, graduation probably coming soon for you. What's kind of your future plans with after school, after graduation and whatnot? I mean, do you plan to maybe go back to school and continue your education, go back for another year? I mean, what's kind of the future for Marcos Cintron?
As of right now, I'm just trying to stay focused on the present. Just focus on what we got going on right now, my classes right now. So I haven't really thought too far into the future because I don't know. I just don't want to think too far ahead right now. I just want to stay in the moment.
Very good mentality to have, my friend. That's definitely the right approach to have. But Marcos, it's been great to have you on the halftime show here. Before we let you run, just want to hear, what do you think is going to be the most important thing for the Cougars throughout the rest of the season, making a push towards the playoffs and ultimately recapturing the PAC title?
Just staying together as a team. The closer we are, if we stay tight knit, I think we have a good chance of getting that done. And like I said earlier, taking pride in the defensive end.
Well, Marcos, again, we really appreciate you joining us this afternoon, and thanks so much. And also, good luck the rest of the season.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
That's Chatham's Marcos Cintron. Folks, don't go anywhere, as we'll be right back for more second half action between Grove City and Chatham right here and only on the PAC Sports Network.